At least 43 people have drowned after a boat ferrying suspected migrants capsized off the Egyptian coast. Egyptian officials say the boat was carrying 600 people when it capsized. Around 150 have been rescued, meaning about 400 could still be missing.
Dozens of family members of the victims gathered at a Coast Guard checkpoint, anxiously waiting for information about their missing relatives. The rescue operation is still ongoing. So far, at least 150 migrants have been rescued. Some survivors were taken to a nearby hospital.
Around dawn, we told the captain of the ship that this boat wasn't going to make it. It was rocking really hard when it was hitting small waves, and we hadn't gone that far in yet. So we thought, what will happen when we reach open water? So the captain tried to steer it, and it almost toppled. And then he decided that he wasn't going to make the journey with this boat. And we all agreed and had faith in him that he would save us. We called the police, but they didn't show up.
The boat was reportedly on its way to Italy when it sank in the Mediterranean Sea off Bag Rashid, a village in the northern Beira province. Officials at Beira said the migrants were from several African countries. Abdelrahman Al-Mohammadi, a fisherman who used his boat to search for survivors, said the Egyptian Coast Guard showed up hours after the accident happened.
Nobody came. We returned 91 people, including a Syrian woman who died. We did not see anyone. Anyone who was saved here was saved by the fisherman boats. The Coast Guard arrived in the afternoon after 5 p.m.
Thousands of illegal migrants have made the dangerous sea voyage across the Mediterranean in recent years, mostly through Libya. Thousands have drowned. The numbers of refugees and migrants trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea from Egypt to Europe has increased significantly in the past year. Susan Mungeli, CCTV.
Right, for more on this, we're now joined by CCTV's Adel Mahroui, who's live for us in Cairo. So, Adel, the death toll from this tragedy seems to be rising. What's the latest on the casualty numbers and the nationalities affected?
Well, according to a statement, that's the latest official statement we have from the Egyptian Armed Forces, is that 163 have been rescued and 43 confirmed death. Now, by confirmed death, we mean that they have found the bodies of 43 passengers of those on board. The rest, as long as there are no bodies up till now, they will be considered missing until otherwise has been confirmed by the authorities. But the search has been continuing. It, of course, has been stalled a little bit because of the darkness when the sunset fell yesterday, and it moved on quite slowly. But when the sun rose, the search continues. There are many speculations about how many people missing, but we're talking about at least 100, if not hundreds, that are not, according to how many passengers were on board. There's no still official statement or clear statement exactly about how many people were on board. The 600 number is a speculation, but the confirmation is still in the hands of the owner of the boat, who is still at large.
Adel, talk to us a little bit more about the rescue operation, and are we likely to see more survivors?
Well, it is a rare or a slim chance to find more survivors, particularly because we're talking about the boat capsized, or the ferry capsized in the afternoon. So it's nearly 24 hours in sea. No food, no resources. Definitely the number of floaters did not, or the life jackets did not, was not sufficient for the entire passengers of the boat, because it was much more or way over its own capacity. So it is very unlikely, but still it doesn't mean that the search will end. They are still continuing to look. The Egyptian authorities, along with coordination between civil and armed forces together, are still continuing to search for at least the bodies of the rest of the passengers.
And Adel, we're getting reports that some people have been detained in connection with this tragedy. Tell us more about that.
Well, 4 of the crew members who were on board of that boat and were arrested during the Army's rescue operation. They have been detailed and investigated. They are considered to be part of the crew who has facilitated the illegal smuggling or trafficking of humans and Africans from Egypt to Italy, as the intentions has been stated to be. There are still, the authorities are still chasing the owner of the boat, and they have found that the owner of the boat has rented it to another person, so it's quite not a simple procedure, but they are trying to reach everyone involved and put them under custody for further investigation. Now, the entire 163 who have been rescued are all, court cases have been filed against them from the Egyptian prosecution for illegally leaving the country, but they have all been released after a brief questioning for each one of them, but everyone have been released and they will be staying at their homes while the investigation continues.
All right, Adil Mahri live for us in Cairo. Many thanks, Adil.